Welcome back to Bravo Breaking News with Kim and Lisa.
Hi, everyone.
Is Rinna really looking out for Kyle or just for herself?
And who is leaking the Kathy stories to the press?
Let's dive right in.
If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and settle in, because today we are going to be breaking down the explosive finale of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
The episode kind of is broken into these two events. We have Garcelle's Birkins and Bubbles party.
Two things the girls love.
And Kyle's The Grace Kelly Foundation Gala event.
Yeah, and Grace Kelly is kind of the through line that holds it all together.
This is one strap is a Kelly.
And this was named after, or Princess Kelly, Monaco.
So we arrive at Garcelle's house to see a familiar face, Kathy's butler.
Voila. Merci, chérie.
Garcelle borrowed Kathy's butler with her permission to join her at the Birkins and Bubbles party.
I stole Patrick from Kathy.
Mine should be the pink one. How much?
15.
1,500.
Sell my body somewhere.
I thought you were going to say Christos, the king of Melrose, one of the kings of Melrose.
Hi, baby. You wanted a party. I'm giving you a party.
Oh my God.
Who had that Bravo series back in the day. I loved that show. It was about his store.
He owned this store on Melrose called Decades, and anybody would go there.
I never watched that show, but how I know of Decades is through the Rachel Zoe project, obviously. I mean, that was like her favorite store.
Yeah, it was on like during that same Bravo era. So I was like, okay, I need to start a petition to bring back Kings of Melrose.
Drink. Talk. Sell.
Okay, I'm all for it. I'll have to catch up. The ladies are arriving and I'm kind of loving the daytime, almost like tea party vibe that the ladies are going. And then Rinna shows up in this outfit that's like really not doing it for me.
I gotta pull that down. Good Lord.
It doesn't seem like it's the vibe.
Yeah, and God bless Patrick the butler, because he's always complimenting Rinna, even when her looks are not the greatest.
What do you think?
The lioness.
Is it good?
Yeah, I don't think she quite hit the right note with that tight leopard number for a daytime party.
Kyle nailed it. Crystal, Sutton. I feel like the ladies who arrive at the Birkin party wearing a Birkin like really says something.
There's a Burke.
I mean, she's the queen.
Oh my God, Sutton's outfit was like custom Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Gaultier Couture. This is all of the Hermes scarves.
No.
Oh, you did say you were going to wear that.
That was amazing. And she looked so good.
Amazing. It was the perfect way for her to show that off. So Sutton's kind of shopping around for her Birkin, and then in walks Kyle, and it's like a stampede.
Get your hand off that. Put your gloves on. Put your gloves on.
Yeah, and Sutton's reaction was so funny. She was like, put your gloves on, put your white gloves on.
The gloves. I mean, that's how you know this is Beverly Hills luxury. I mean, I've never in my life had to put on gloves to handle a handbag.
Right. It's something to aspire to. And it was clear that it was not Sutton's first rodeo with handling a Birkin.
This is the ladies' event. We put our gloves on.
I loved Kyle throughout this entire episode tonight. You know, she's hit or miss for me. And this kind of took me back to like the glory days of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, like with the wealth and the glamour and the money, you know, and the diamonds. So we'll get to that. But I just want to give Kyle like a shout out for this episode. Kyle and Garcelle kind of have this moment to the side where they talk about what's been going on with Kathy for the past couple days.
And it seemed like Garcelle had no idea that any of this was happening.
You guys went to bed. That's right.
We didn't go to the club.
I didn't realize that she had gone home before they went to the club. So she wasn't really aware of what was happening.
No, it didn't seem like she was at all. And Kyle was kind of explaining to her that Kathy apologized and Kyle's ready to move on.
And I was like, oh God, let's just move on and accept the apology.
Yeah.
But Rinna is still stringing this along, and Garcelle says it like it is.
She's your sister. If Kyle wants to sweep it under the rug to keep her family intact, then Rinna, butt out of it.
Garcelle doesn't
Exactly.
even know anything about this, yet she's giving the advice that Rinna needs to hear.
Exactly. And she knows that Rinna is like a dog with a bone.
Rinna can be a bit of a dog with a bone.
They kind of talk about it within the group too.
Rinna,
Yes.
Kyle told me that you saw Kathy yesterday.
I did. Yes, I did.
And Rinna says, "Oh, I'm being protective of you, Kyle."
I've tried to be very protective, I think.
No, you're not. We hear them later in the episode talk about like, you don't care about Kyle at all. Like, this is your agenda. Kyle's the one that wants to drop it and move on.
I feel like Rinna is now more upset about the fact that she had to witness this than looking after me.
And you're the one that's not letting them move on. You're the only one still talking about it.
I'm still kind of shook.
I was really shook. I was shook because of the behavior that was going on.
And then we also see Rinna and Kyle in the kitchen together.
I don't want to be talking about this either.
And Rinna's kind of saying like,
I hope she gets the help that she needs. Do you know what I mean?
Like,
I
what
roll
is she supposed to say
central.
to that? I roll central, exactly.
I mean,
It's
she
like-
already said it the day before, like, you really need help.
I don't want to say that you need help, Kathy, but I think you need some help.
Okay, no. If anybody needs help at this point, it's you, because you're latching on to something that's really none of your business.
And like, I know this is, I sound like a broken record, but like, how many times have we seen Rinna freak out, throwing wine glasses, screaming at people to get the F out of her house? Like, come on.
Rinna.
Okay, so now we're transitioning to the Grace Kelly Foundation event at Kyle's house, which looks absolutely beautiful. Like the flowers, the chandeliers.
And part of this is like this stunning diamond setup by one of the sponsors of the event. And there are millions and millions of dollars of diamonds in this room.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
I literally got chills.
God, oh my God, oh my God.
That would be so, what a thrill.
Oh.
So the ladies are all kind of getting ready. We see Sutton and Garcelle getting ready. And I have to ask, Garcelle's green lipstick, yay or nay?
Okay, so when I first saw it, I was like, oh. And then I was like, okay. And I actually didn't hate it. I liked that it was contrasted against like just her all white ensemble.
And she
And
did have like
then-
the color coordinating with the earrings.
Yeah,
and
she
the
had like
accessories.
emerald kind of accessories. And somehow I feel like she did kind of pull it off. What do you think?
I'm on the fence, but it's Garcelle, so I'll give her a pass. So we see Lisa and Erika in the van on their way to the event, and Rinna pretty much confirms what we've been discussing these past few weeks.
Kathy's lawyers are trying to kill it. Sending cease and desist all over the place.
Kathy's lawyers are trying to kill this story. She's sending out cease and desist letters. However, it kind of seems like that is geared towards these stories in the media versus like shutting people up that were in the club. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, we don't really get a ton of detail around who's getting these cease and desists, but we did kind of get that confirmation that Kathy did get lawyers involved, which again, I'm not surprised about at all, because why haven't we heard or seen more or like footage of the actual event?
There is no footage. I am steadfast. I need to issue a retraction. I don't think there is footage. Andy has come out and said cameras were down for the night. The ladies have shared that it was so loud and dark in the club, like half of them didn't even see what was going on.
I thought the whole ruckus was about dress code.
Because we couldn't hear anything. You couldn't even
Sweatpants
hear
kind
the
of
person
situation.
next to you.
I now believe that there really is no footage to be seen.
Then Rinna kind of says like, well, that's not how I roll.
I'm not that person.
Was that intending to mean like, I don't care if you threaten to sue me, like I'm going to say it anyway?
I don't know. Rinna doesn't make any sense to me this episode, to be perfectly honest. I feel like both her and Erika are contradicting themselves with like every little thing that they say.
I'm still shook by it.
So we see Erika and Rinna arrive at the party.
Hi.
And drama soon follows. But first, I think we need to talk about the fact that Rinna is literally wearing the dress that Kim Kardashian wore after she accuses Kathy of being jealous of the Kardashians.
I could not handle it. It's like, okay, you're the one stealing their looks. And, oh, actually, you probably didn't steal it. You rented it.
So they walk into the party, and to quote Diana, it just feels kind of slithery to me.
Very slithery.
I don't know if it's the music or just the vibe, but I don't know. Erika and Rinna just bring the party down a notch, in my opinion.
Yeah, and they're seated at the dinner table, and you kind of see Kyle and Garcelle talking.
Have you spoken to Kathy?
Today.
And?
She's upset.
And then you see Erika and Rinna talking, and Erika was kind of saying, like, I think they're going to come for us tonight.
I'm telling you right now, these two are coming.
Yeah, good man.
Oh, and me too.
He's a good heart. He's a good heart.
Me too.
Garcelle has never been one to like say something behind somebody's back. If she
Yeah.
wants to say something, she's going to say it to your face. And so
Yeah.
she's talking to Kyle. She's not trying to be quiet about it. She's just kind of saying like,
Your friends don't seem to care about you. Because if they did, they'd let it go.
this is now their agenda, like I said. And I just want to say, I called it last week, but Garcelle mentions that this is part of a plan to distract from Erika's name in the news.
I think it's to distract from Erika.
Exactly. And you could really see a light bulb kind of going off.
We're not talking about Erika anymore. Now we're talking about Kathy.
It was
Totally.
like Kyle had like an epiphany, and she was like, oh, and she kind of got it.
Yep. And so the group kind of goes over to the little lounge area because there's no heaters near the dining table. How dare Kyle?
She hosted a party in February without a heater. Who does that?
And it was 62 degrees. I mean, which in LA, we're so spoiled where it's like, oh my God, it's below 70. Where's my sweater?
I'm gonna hug this heater.
So Garcelle approaches Lisa and basically says,
What are you so offended about? That you needed an apology from Kathy?
I did not need anything from Kathy.
If Kathy's apologized, then we should let it go.
and
Mhm.
Rinna, again, this is an example of her not making sense. She's like,
Who's not letting it go? Why are you saying that?
who are you
Mhm.
talking to?
Who are you talking to?
Again, another moment where she's acting like an idiot, but yet she knows exactly what she's doing.
Rinna was just a little bit too defensive there.
Totally. And then like Erika's saying that
People in this group have been very hard on me, and I've taken it and I've owned up to it. So Kathy has to own her too.
she
Mhm.
has. She
Mhm.
literally sat down with Rinna and Kyle the day before and owned her shit. She admitted it, apologized, and move on, which I know I've
Right.
said that for the past 3 weeks, but like, don't say that if you don't mean it, if you're not going to move on.
Right. Because Kyle was really the victim in this. Like Kyle got the brunt of Kathy's anger. So if Kyle's ready to move on, then, I'm sorry, Rinna, you don't have PTSD.
And you're not going to get cancer and die if you don't bring this up.
I'd get sick and get cancer if I didn't express this. That's how bad it is. To have these kinds of things go on and not express them, I'll get sick and die because it's that vile.
I think I literally screamed when she said that.
Wow.
Did you really say that? Oh my God, it's so dramatic.
First of all, it's
Literally-
completely outrageous. And second of all, it's also really inappropriate.
Inappropriate and offensive.
I mean, she crossed a line there. If she hasn't already, she did at that moment. Like, that's not even, I mean, again, her soap actress days are just coming out in full force.
Are we on Days of Our Lives again?
And then she goes on to say that like she's actually protecting Kathy because she hasn't divulged any information really about what was said. And it's like, oh yes, so you are the patron saint of, Aspen or whatever.
I know. And then she's literally like going around the room, asking everybody, do you know what happened?
Do you know what happened back at the house?
I know something.
Garcelle, do you know what happened back at the house?
No.
Dorit, do you know what happened back at the house? No.
And everybody says no. And Sutton's like,
You gave zero details.
I'm sorry, Rinna. You don't like, that's super weak in my opinion. Like, you have nobody to back you up. Not even Erika knows any information to back you up. And you are so untrustworthy at this point. I'm sorry, nobody's going to believe you.
You better f***ing believe I'm protecting my friend.
So everybody just kind of gets fed up with the conversation, and Rinna and Erika are ready to go. And so everybody kind of moves inside, and Dorit and Kyle talk about that people have been leaking these stories about Kathy to the press.
You don't think it's weird that at every event, every detail is being leaked to the press?
Yes.
Detailed moments, play by play. And that's why Kathy has been sending these cease and desist letters and actually launched an investigation.
Kathy launched an investigation.
This is where it kind of takes like a true detective turn. They're talking about, you know, who is the leak, and Dorit asks,
Do you think that it's somebody in this group?
100%.
and so she tells us that, yes, per this investigation, she knows where the leak came from. And we learn that it came from Erika or someone in Erika's camp.
It was someone on Erika's team that had leaked these stories. Someone wants my sister to look bad so that they don't look as bad.
And so then we see, you know, Sutton kind of hears this and she's like, I'm just going to go ask them.
For the love of God, do I have to do this? Point blank, did either one of you leak information to the press?
They're
Thank
like,
you,
"No."
Sutton.
Erika's like,
No, I don't know how to do that.
okay, Erika, don't think it's that hard to figure out how to respond to any one of the tabloid people who probably call you weekly.
And then she shares that her and Nikki Hilton share a publicist, which, so why would they want to defame the Hiltons?
I know that Nikki and I share a publicist.
Yeah.
So I don't think that would be in his best interest to do something like that to his client.
Which, yes, makes sense to me. But as of today, currently, they no longer share a publicist. So
Ooh.
I have a feeling that something went down.
Now, is that a recent development or did they never share a publicist?
You know, I don't know when that transition happened, but who knows if these rumors are true and the Hiltons did find out it was Erika's publicist that leaked these.
My publicist did that?
Obviously, Nikki's going to throw him away.
Interesting.
So basically, Rinna and Erika just continue to blame it on other people. And there's this like comical moment between them two that like almost seems rehearsed. Like
it was so funny. Like they literally seemed like Abbott and Costello.
The guy on first base. Who is on first? Well, what are you asking me for?
It seems like they're doing the who's on first, where they're just riffing off each other. Like, I didn't know it leaked. Did you know it leaked?
Why wasn't it printed if it was a play-by-play?
That's true. It hasn't been in any publications, has it?
No, I want to know. How come if it was a play-by-play and someone was there, how come it hasn't been printed?
Has it been in the press?
Where is this information?
Have you read it in the press? I haven't.
I haven't either.
I'm asking you who's on first.
It was so funny.
it was just like completely insane to the point where Kyle's just like, whoa, like that was a lot.
You guys are like,
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no kidding.
Erika starts comparing her situation between Kathy and her.
For 2 years, my ass has been chewed apart every day about things that I didn't do, and my behavior is up for discussion.
Obviously, that is not something to compare. Erika is facing millions of dollars of legal, issues, and Kathy had a meltdown at a club. Like, don't even compare. This is completely different.
Well, then Erika tries to make the claim that Kathy's not important enough to be a distraction to Erika Jane.
I love your sister, but she's not well known enough to take the distraction off Erika right now. Nobody takes the distraction off Erika.
And I was like, okay. Here's where the Erika ego comes creeping in.
This is not a competition, Erika, of who's more famous than who. But if you do want to play that game, I think Kathy's last name trumps Girardi.
Yeah. And, I think that this is the moment that the Fox Force 4 that's left crumbles.
Ah, you know what? I think you're right.
If I'm forced to choose between my two friends and my sister, regardless of what happened, it's my blood.
I think that these alliances have been irreparably damaged.
I know that they're close, so it just becomes this whole group and sides and this and that.
And going forward, I don't think Kyle's going to trust them with anything anymore. And I'd be curious to see where Dorit lands, but my money is going to be that she goes more with Kyle than she does with Erika and Rinna.
I would hope so. I would hope so.
If I make a run for it, what do you think will happen?
Nothing. We'll just go on radar online.
So that was the season. I am sad that it's over, but happy that it happened. You know, it's been a roller coaster ride, but as mad and as infuriating that these women have made me over this season, we've barely talked about anything else. So, I mean, obviously they're doing something right.
The fact that Dorit's robbery was this season, that seems like a lifetime ago, but like in a good way to me. Some people say like, oh, it's boring. Like I want it to be over and move on to the next. I'm like, no, keep it coming. I want 52 weeks a year of Beverly Hills.
I agree. I agree. So quickly, rapid fire. Who's your MVP for the season?
I'm going to have to go Sutton. I did not like how she reacted to Dorit's robbery, but since she has been a solid source of comic relief, source of reasoning, I think it took a lot of heat that wasn't really deserved. And I'm getting to know her and like her. And I think she has a real fun and funny side that we're only scratching the surface of. What about you? MVP?
Garcelle. I'm going to have to go with Garcelle. She always tells it like it is. She's open and honest. She's never afraid to confront somebody. I just think that she keeps the story coming and I love it.
Agreed.
So,
those two together, I just love them. Like they could have their own show and I would be so happy.
Oh my God, they totally need a spinoff. I would love that. Stay tuned because we're going to be putting out an extra bonus episode this week, breaking down the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills reunion looks and the trailer.
You won't want to miss it.
And don't forget to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked what you watched.
Thanks everyone. See you next time.